do anything that will cause you to lose confidence in the world. These were the words of Emperor Hirohito to the Japanese nation in 1945. He told them, "The enemy has begun to deploy a new and most cruel bomb, and if we were to continue to fight, it would not only result in destroying our nation, but it could lead to the lives of all Earth's people." These words were broadcasted all over Japan after the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in World War II. These words gave support and inspiration to the family and friends of those who died and those who were injured. Emperor Showa Hirohito was a man who changed the world because of his leadership, his bravery, and his idea of peace. His life starts when he was born on April 29, 1901, and to his death on January 7, 1989. A lot of historians say, especially historians that work for the History Channel, that the most influential points of his life were during World War II and the after effects of the bombings. He grew up reigning at a young age. He was crowned prince at 15 years old, and he was on his way to become the 124th Emperor of Japan. He is considered to be the longest reigning emperor, having 64 years on the throne from his biography. Now, during the time of World War II, the military wanted to take things into their own hands. They wanted to control the country because they thought that was best. So a lot of leaders in the military started rising against the government by using political violence. They killed some of the prime ministers and other influential leaders. Emperor Hirohito could really only watch because as the military started to rise in power, he couldn't have control over them. The military soon took it further when they went over to America and bombed Pearl Harbor, which involved Americans in the war, so it only got them into worse trouble. The bombing on Pearl Harbor happened December 7, 1941, when hundreds of the Japanese planes attacked the naval base of Honolulu, Hawaii. The naval base on the war kept going until August 6th, when the Americans decided that they're going to have to stop the war. So what they did is that they built these two bombs. These are like replicas, but these are the two atomic bombs that they dropped on the two cities. This one is called, they called it Fat Boy, because it's like a rounder shape, and this one they called Little Boy. So there's two bombs. And they dropped it onto the cities. So after these bombings occurred, over 135,000 people died, either from impact of the bomb or from the radiation that followed after. The people were like so amazed because the bombs were so powerful that they would like entirely destroy parts of the city, like it wasn't there anymore. So the people needed hope. And according to their religion, just as a fact, they considered their emperor a god. So his voice was supposed to be like a god's, everything about him was supposed to be divine. So when they heard his voice on the radio, which for the first time any emperor's voice had been heard among the common people, they were so excited. They were like, oh, he's going to talk, we're going to fight back. He talked about those who gave up their lives fighting in the war and all those who died in the bombings. He said he didn't want the dying to go on in vain, so he told the people that in order for the nation to keep going, they must do one thing, and that was to surrender. In the past, Japan had never surrendered before, and according to their original laws, it was supposed to be against all things to surrender. So the people were very shocked to hear these words from their own leader. Some people lost faith in their emperor, and some of them revoked him of his god-like powers. So they said he was just a normal man, he wasn't divine, and that he began to lose political power because, the people were kind of mad at him that he decided to surrender. The people were blinded in their pride. They didn't understand that without this surrender, Japan wouldn't have been the nation it is today. Despite the shock that his speech gave the country, to other people, it gave the hope and support to look ahead. Romans 12:12 says, "Rejoice in hope, be patient in tribulation, be constant in prayer." The Japanese people were inspired for peace after the years went by. As the war soon ended, after Hirohito's surrender, once again the nation kept moving along with the world. Hirohito's words close to their heart. Resolved to pave the way for a grand peace for all generations to come. He is important because if it weren't for Emperor Hirohito, World War II could have lasted much longer and could have caused more damage than we could ever know. Emperor Hirohito changed the world using his leadership to bring a new light to his idea and all across the globe. Peace.